Yo, it's definitely Cloud Chaser TV, man. We back up in this thing again, you dig? Hey, man, we got some news to report when it comes down to Wack 100. You know what I mean? And on Wack 106.9, some more leaked clips came out. And on the clip that I'm gonna play for you, this shit is crazy, man. They going back and forth, but it looked like 6ix9ine pretty much barking on Wack 100. And I don't know if people know the the nature of the interview. Wack 100 being a gangster, and then he supporting 6ix9ine, who supposed to be a rat, right? So a lot of communities are getting mad at the fact that Wack 100 even did this interview, and then to find out that Wack 100 was getting treated like a goofball, or what I'm saying, wasn't able to talk. It was a screaming match. It wasn't even no respect there, so why even come to that situation thinking it was gonna be respectfully? You know what I mean? And like with my opinions about it, I think that Wack 100, the things that he did in the industry, whether it's from Stitches to 6ix9ine to what I'm saying, other artists, he ain't stepped in and had some things to say about. And a lot of times he's boisterous. A lot of times he's supposed to be speaking from a hood person, somebody from the trenches, somebody who been and know what the trenches need. Now, it's always been a lot of people that was online like, you know what, fam, Wack 100 is full of shit. He full of it. And I used to be like, damn, well, not Wack 100, not the, what I'm saying, the OG from the P. You feel me? Not him. But since this clip dropped, it's just been going crazy on the internet, man. And y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Let me play this clip for you real quick.
Stay on the top, but it's level. No, it's different. But this, but that. Stay on the top, but it's level. No, it's different. But this, but that. Stay on the top, but it's level. No, it's different. But this, but that.
So, like, as you can see, it wasn't so much no respect that it don't seem like to me. You know what I mean? It seemed like it was definitely 6ix9ine getting aggressive, 6ix9ine getting into that mode. You know what I mean? Shit, that same energy he had with Meek Mill. You know, and what's gonna be interesting is they're gonna be seeing like when the interview comes out more, because like if y'all didn't pay attention on that particular clip, it said in the comments, it was DJ Academic saying that this is pretty much the calmest part of the interview. So the interview is going to be turned up pretty much the whole way through. Now, am I going to watch this interview? Yeah, absolutely. I want to just see like what type of conversation can be gathered from these two individuals. I'm really curious. You know what I mean? I don't really get it. I don't get it at all. But maybe it's some type of common ground. Maybe it is this what the this what the culture need. I don't know. But since then you got Wack 100. He basically coming on defending himself. When it comes to him defending himself, he definitely been boisterous about that as well. And I'm gonna play some footage right now, you man. Like where Wack 100 basically calls into DJ Self and he explains this whole situation, why he felt the need for this to even go down or it need to happen. You know what I mean? So let's get to it, man. It's definitely the Cloud Chaser TV, man.
What's going on? I know, Wack. Listen, before I even get into anything, um, I want you to unconfuse me. I want to say me first, and why I say me is because a lot of times I get ridiculed for not only a 6ix9ine thing, but all other people. I play different music, and I feel like me as the DJ, it's my job just to play music.
not to judge what a man does in his personal time and things like that, just to play music. So me not being in the street life culture, and I see you with a picture with 6ix9ine, I was a little confused. So before I even start, can you unconfuse me and people like me?
Well, there's nothing to be confused about. I did an interview with 6ix9ine
Uh-huh.
because that's what I wanted to do. They didn't reach to me. I reached to them. And music is music. And I think what happens or what has happened is.
Hold on, before I even get back to it, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what that man just said? He said that they didn't reach out to him. He reached out to them because he wanted to do this interview. This is how much he felt this interview was needed. Again, man, y'all get in the comments, man. This shit crazy, man. We gonna get through it though. Let's watch this footage. I'm gonna stop it at certain parts just to, you know what I'm saying, give my opinion, give my input. You feel me? But that shit sounds weird what he just said.
People keep saying street life music. It's not about music. It's not about music. That's the street life. It's just people talking about the streets, right? So I don't even understand when people say, "Well, this, that, or other." What does one have to do with the next? If somebody knows something, he tell a story in the song. That's it. I don't see one real street dude that's mainstream, right?
Okay.
Actually, I do know one, Lil Baby, right? That's mainstream. The rest of these dudes be commercialized. They know a few things, you know. A lot of them don't live in their neighborhood. Like, y'all niggas live behind gates and shit like that. So, you know, but
And like, what's that supposed to mean? Gang been living behind gates for a minute, but it seemed like, you know, he sent it. It's almost like this shit is playing, my boy. Because who's the biggest person that 6ix9ine always beefing with? 6ix9ine always got a problem with Lil Durk. And you know what that whole situation with Lil Durk, you know, somebody posted supposedly broke into his gated community outside of Atlanta. It was a alleged shootout, things of that nature. You feel me? He basically sending a shot at this man. You know what I mean? Like, that's just weird to me, bro. It's weird because Dirk didn't want to probably do a song with Blueface. Is that what it is? It's interesting shit about Wack 100.
fans don't know that. So when I look at 6ix9ine, I really don't fault him. I fault the street. The street shouldn't allow him. That neighborhood shouldn't allow him over there like that. So, you know, I was very curious on why it went the way it went and why he did what he did. And my whole disposition was to get him to understand that you ain't a gangster. You ain't a thug. You ain't a street nigga. You a regular civilian. You just was in uniform. You was in costume. Period. You did exactly what a civilian would do. So he did exactly what my son is trained to do. My son is a civilian. He's trained to tell the truth. He don't live by no street.
See, that's another one. That's another one he talking about. He talking about his son don't live by the street code. But yet, you put all this so-called energy, all these street rules on everybody else's kids. You know what I'm saying? On all these communities, kids who watch you or who support you, you put this standard on their kids though. But it ain't on your kids. See, that's the problem with a lot of these industry dudes. See, they'll put the standard on their kid, but when it comes down to telling your kid, oh, shit, man, don't you can't believe it. You can't believe it. You understand? You can't believe
Street code. He don't even got a sidewalk in front of his house.
What do you say to a person or a street guy that says, or people outside that says, all right, he ain't a street dude, but he involved himself in street activity, which made him active?
No, that didn't make him active. I asked him, I addressed all that. Because I really wanted to know, see, there's certain things that qualify you to be what you are from where you from, right? If you don't go through those things, it's just like going to the military. If you can't pass basic training, you ain't going to make it to the next phase of it, right?
Okay.
Let's be real. So if you didn't go through this or do that or perform these acts or do this or that, right? How do you get to a position where you telling motherfuckers what to do? I'm gonna tell you why. The streets, the so-called real niggas, has found themselves to be in a position where they are non-hustlers. See, this word gangster, it really came from us watching these mafia movies and all this type of shit. But one thing you notice about the mafia movies and the mob movies, they always did one thing. They made money. So it confused me how motherfuckers call themselves gangsters, but you're in a situation where you don't know how to make no money. So if a dude come on the block that making money, you say, fuck it. Here go the keys, here go all the secrets, and you run the block. He ain't been put on. He ain't put in no work. He ain't did nothing to earn this position, the situation. So who do you blame? Do you blame the motherfucker that's infatuated because it is the streets and, oh, these dudes are going to let me do this? Or do you blame the block for allowing the infiltration? Which one? 6ix9ine could have never came to my neighborhood and did that. It would have never happened. Even if I wanted it to happen, the powers that be.
See what I'm saying? That standard. Remember I said that standard. They could never come to his neighborhood because it's a standard that he go by. But the shit that he really committed when he going around with his kids or he teaching his kids, you see what's really going on with him. He not having that same type of energy. That's probably how we even get this 6ix9ine interview. You feel me? Where he's saying that he reached out to this man. Wack 100 saying that he reached out to this man. You feel me?
Would have overrode me and I would have got a DP. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's bigger than the program and the rules is written. So at the end of the day, this man ran with them people for 12 months. How did he know about things that happened 5 years prior to tell him, to talk about it? You know why? Because them so-called real niggas ran their motherfucking mouth and violated everything that they fell up under to this kid who didn't have no obligation to that street code. He didn't get put on. He ain't gonna take life. He didn't go put in no work on no. He didn't do none of that. He had the bag. So what they were supposed to do, let him shoot videos, charge him for that. You want to cover him at the studio, charge him for that. You need to move around with you, charge him for that. But you wasn't supposed to let him. You wasn't supposed to let him in the build, homie. He can't come in the dope house. He ain't supposed to come to the spot where the pistols at. He ain't supposed to know who the niggas is that's calling the dogs. He ain't supposed to know about these stories and this internal shit that's going on. He ain't supposed to know about that. You can't.
Now that's when I agree with him. He right. He right when it comes down to that. They didn't have to know about all that stuff. They didn't have to know the inner workings of, you know what I mean, what's really going on. Like when it came down to the music, they should have kept it music. That's a fact. Whether he was using, you know, fabricating his way through the industry, faking it and things of that nature, that's on him. But far as what y'all had going on behind the scenes, you should know this is just a rapper. This shit ain't real. This is entertainment business. He right about that. You know what I mean? He definitely right about that, man. If y'all agree, man, throw up them muscle emojis, man. Throw up them muscle emojis. Throw up them muscle emojis right now, gang. If you agree.
You can't blame him. He ain't psychic. You got to blame them. The streets got to blame itself. Just like with this Black Lives Matter shit, right? We want to blame the police, but they killing 2 out of 10. 8 out of 10 we killing. When we gonna march on us? When we gonna walk down the street and say, hey, you motherfuckers on this block, y'all gonna stop killing us? Everybody follows the trend. That's the sheep. Unfortunately, I've always been a wolf, homie. Mm-hmm. I'm a wolf, and I'm gonna do it how I want to do it when I want to do it. That's simple. Mm-hmm. I'm a wolf. What? And I'm gonna see it my way. That man's a civilian. That man is a civilian, bro. Everything about him is contradicting. Rainbow hair, no disrespect. What is rainbow representative of, Self? The gay community, right?
Yes.
Red bandana. What's that a representative of, Self? The Bloods, right?
The Bloods.
When the fuck do those two mix? This is a gimmick. This is a gimmick. When he takes the costume off, he's Little Danny.
That might be true. That might be true what Wack 100 just said, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Now, he's saying it's a gimmick, so why would he want to be a part of this so-called gimmick? That's what people puzzled by. It's not so much that, like, you a grown man, Wack. You know what I mean? You gonna stand on whatever principles you have and whatever morals you have, right? But the thing is like, if you know it's a gimmick, like you just said, that came out your mouth, and we heard you say it before, like the shit ain't real, it's the entertainment and all that, right? Why you jump into that lane? Did they pay you? Like, well, you said you reached out to you reached out to them, like, so it wasn't even about a bag, it was about what, clout? Was it about clout, man? Y'all put up them muscle emojis, man, right now, man. If y'all agree with what I'm saying. This shit is crazy, again.
No costume with Wack. I'm what I am.
What do you say to a person that, all right, this guy told on Bloods and you are a Blood? So wouldn't you even feel a way, it's like, all right, this guy told on people that's
bro,
down with me?
Listen, let me explain something to you.
Uh-huh.
I'm from Eastside Pacoima Paru Bloods, right?
Okay.
When a nigga from Pacoima Paru Bloods violates and does something, it's on Pacoima Paru to deal with that, right?
Okay.
If that individual comes back to my neighborhood and walks around my city, and guess what? Don't nobody touch him, I'm not looking at my homies from Compton to do something to him, right? So I go say that to say this. This kid is moving around with no security. All this jewelry, I seen it.
Okay.
Going to clubs. When he came home, niggas posted his address, where he was at, right? Ain't nobody did nothing about it, right? The obligation for that to be handled is in the hands of those that have been dealt that blow. They need to handle their business. This ain't a worldly thing. Handle your business. And the minute you start handling your business, maybe everybody else may say, okay, then that's what it is. Then the boxing might happen. But until then, you'll be a goddamn fool to do a job that ain't your job.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't listening. Who feeling it? He told on a bunch of dudes from non-trade gangsters. That dude, non-trades is everywhere, bro. They ain't restricted.
Mm-hmm.
That dude ain't hiding, bro. I watched it. Nigga left me, came to me from a club and left me and went to a day party.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be real, bro.
I'm with you. I've seen him out. Are you surprised at?
See, that's like they pumping the agenda. That's like they pumping this shit, right? Well, what he's saying, shit, now he's saying that he be out. A well-known so-called certified blood comes back online after the Bloods had a situation already with dealing with him. Now this blood from another side of the country comes online, and he says that this dude is moving around and he really outside. He's saying that he really outside. Is something wrong with this picture, man? Put up them muscle emojis right now, man. Is something wrong with these? Like, something ain't right. I'm missing something here. It ain't sounding right to me. I ain't following it, fam. But we gonna get to it, though. If you new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Share this on Facebook and Twitter. Gang.
At the reaction of people, what the reaction of some people are having with this podcast that's coming out?
I mean, no, because, you know, people are people. And in my world, right, the only ones that count is the ones that mean something that count, right? So, you know, I don't worry about the dude in Canada that got something to say, or a dude in the UK got something to say, or even a dude like my son who went to the penitentiary for robbing an innocent cab driver, right? You know, this dude 3 years ago was scalping tickets for the BET Awards in downtown LA.
Mm-hmm.
Same dude that, you know, might be a little salty because I convinced Game not to sign him. Y'all remember he was running around behind Game.
He was running, yes.
But he was trying to be a rapper, right? So, you know, I convinced Game, you know, not to sign the dude because I didn't think he was worthy of our staff anyway. You know, I got a personal relationship
See, and that's what, like, I'm gonna get to that now. When it comes down to my son, like my son, he bugs me out too, man, because it's like he got this one message and then he goes and confuses me. You know what I mean? I thought he was with the BLM, you know what I mean, movement, and just being with some type of movement like that and being someone of the community supposed to be speaking against a lot of these things, right? Supposed to be telling these little boys, like when somebody approaching you to be in a gang or something, you probably want to tell your parents, you probably want to go tell your teacher, things of that nature, because he's saying that he's no longer with the street life, right? Now he speaks out against a lot of people, down to the police, right? But then he wants to involve himself when it comes down to a well-known rat kid from New York. You know what I mean? That's kind of weird. Like, that's what I say, gotta be some type of agenda they pushing. Like, what's the agenda? I don't get it. I still ain't figured it out. Y'all help me out with it. But that's just weird how this dude that's connected to BLM is speaking out against people coming forward in their community to stop the violence. Ain't that what they be preaching? People come forward in the community to stop the violence. They gotta they gotta be more active in the community. I thought that's what the speeches that they be saying when they be going to these rallies and holding these protests. I thought that's what the speeches be about, things of that nature. Maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, get them muscle emojis in the comments, gang. Let's get it.
Relationship with my son, so it was kind of weird that he does what he does, but I think he's moving into the position of being this type of advocate or some shit. Like when the Black Lives thing kicked off, I seen him step out there. You know, that's cool. That's what you want to do. I commend you for it, but who you are and what you stand for, it don't count in my world. I'm seeing he saying I got paid. Hey, bro, I didn't get paid. I did the interview for free. Wack don't need no money. My son, you need the money. Wack, you the one that's still trying to rap and.
We get it. 100%. Him saying he didn't get paid because he said that he reached out to them. But now, when something like this goes viral, what's next? Do Blueface get on the song with 6ix9ine? Then it becomes more than just business. You know what I mean? What's next? Is it more than just business at that point? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I give you this free one. I'm gonna make sure it go viral. We're gonna do this, but on the double back, we're gonna make sure Blueface back hot. Cause that's my payday. He a part of my record label. I don't know, allegedly. I don't know. But when you say that you didn't get paid, like this video going viral, this interview going viral, are you gonna have some type of financial gain? I'm pretty sure you are. Keep it a buck. Keep it real. So again, is it about the clout? Is it about the money?
Charging the kids. The school's $2,500 to go speak to the kids. I go to the juvenile halls for free. I speak to the kids for free. I don't. That's your hustle. So I understand why he might need my name because there's no real relevance to his name. So I get it. So when people think and their opinion don't matter because their way of thinking and their frame of mind is theirs, that would make me like them. That would make me a follower, a sheep. And I'm a wolf. And unfortunately, bro, you know, we make our own rules and we set our own pace. My table knew I was doing the interview. Everybody knew I was doing the interview. I told academics on Instagram to set the interview up. Did I not?
Uh-huh.
I told her. I didn't hide it. I went over there with my wife and kids. That's who went with me to the interview.
Right. And we go back to the standard that you set for your family is not the same standard that you setting for the community. You know what I mean? It ain't the same standard. The standard that you setting for the community is totally different from the one that you giving your family. That's crazy, Wack. I think that's whack, my nigga. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's whack, my nigga. That's some whack ass shit. You feel me? How you got a whole nother standard, a whole nother game plan when it comes down to it? That shit whack, my guy. And then you saying you put it out there. But before we even do that, let me play this footage though. This somebody from your neck of the woods. They feel a certain type of way. You feel me? They feel like shit, you selling them brothers out right now. You know what I'm saying? They feel like you selling some of your people out. Let me play that footage, man.
When it comes to this blood shit, there ain't no way in hell the B or the P should be for sale, blood. It's never happened before. To now, this new generation, this new shit that niggas doing, blood. And I can't even say it's a new generation because this nigga that's doing it, blood old as fuck. Blood's an old ass man and he know better. Blood know better. Blood know better, nigga. The B and the P is not for sale. I don't give a fuck who you is. Or how much money you got. It's not for sale, blood. And nigga, under no circumstances should any blood be fucking with no snitch, because if you fuck with a snitch, blood, then nigga, 9 times out of 10, blood, you snitching too, nigga. Or if you fuck with a snitch, blood, it's just like you snitching, blood, you might as well be snitching, because on blood, nigga, you're gonna be held accountable for the same shit blood did. Because whatever blood did that got niggas not fuck with him, and then for you to try to go fuck with blood and say fuck what the rest of the car gotta say is foul. I go for anybody, any blood that try to do it. And yeah, you're right. Every hood do got snitches, blood. Every hood got snitches, blood. Every hood. But I bet you them niggas ain't on the block hanging out with niggas. Not with us. Not with no solid niggas. Damn, homies, that's out. We ain't harvesting no snitches. We ain't harvesting no busters. We ain't harvesting no bitch ass niggas, blood. So, niggas better get their facts together, blood, because that's out. Nigga, this blood gang for real, nigga. From Pablo Bishop Bloods, nigga. And nigga, we ain't, nigga, that's out. Nigga. And I know it's a gang of other bloods feel the same way. Nigga, you not finna come up in here and change the dynamics of the game. Nigga, that's out, blood. Whoop.
Now you see what I'm saying? So like the way you told it to your community, the way you stand on it ain't the same way that you teach your kids. But now we got a situation where you comfortable with this, right? The big gangster, the dude who knock dudes out, the dude who talk about this street shit. That so-called little boy, that so-called 6ix9ine dude, that dude put a hit on Chief Keef. It's in the paperwork. It's the dude that's in jail for the shooting, named Kuda B, who was instructed by him. So I guess the same thing applies to a dude like the game too then, huh? If the game did some shit like this, it'd be on them, huh? Because they'll say the game was never involved in this shit, man. He's a rapper, right? Talk to me. Make it make sense, my nigga. Make it make sense, Wack 100. Because right now, this shit is whack.
That little Danny down, and my whole thing, my approach was not a rat approach because I don't see him as that. Watch this. Motherfucking Vlad TV filed some shit on Rick Ross when they whooped his ass. Had that man in court. Rick Ross had to fuck around, paid his man like $400,000. You remember that?
I do remember that. Was Rick Ross against Vlad? Yes.
Who was Vlad's right-hand man every day after the fact? My side was Vlad's man every motherfucking day after the fact. Now watch this. I see Vlad as a civilian. So he did what he was supposed to do. I'm a strong believer in civilians are not obligated to street code. I see Vlad the same way I see little Danny. Danny's just in the costume pretending. He ain't that. He wasn't put on. He wasn't initiated. Nigga had a bag and niggas on the block that was broke allowed this kid to run around and do what the fuck he want to do. That's just like me throwing the keys of my Ferrari, one of my Rolls Royces, to a 12-year-old. You think he ain't gonna get in that motherfucker and drive it?
Mm-hmm.
He might tear it up. Ain't no telling what he gonna do. He ain't gonna treat it like what it is. He's just driving the car when he really shouldn't be.
Do you feel like this is a lesson to like, you know, I guess street people who
Man, ain't no streets, man. Hey,
Okay.
listen, everybody need to understand this because I come from it when it was, and I'm looking at what it ain't. Everybody needs to stop faking. It's neighborhoods from the West Coast to the South to the East Coast that at one point in time you could not drive in if they didn't know who you was. They would have took your life, they'd have robbed you. I can go to Bed-Stuy, I can go places in my neighborhood, Watts and Compton, and drive down streets and blocks, bro, and you don't see nobody. It ain't like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
They need to all stop fronting, homie. I come from it. You know, every cause has its end. Every movement has its end. Black Panther Party, so on and so forth. It started, it ended. Everybody got to stop fronting like this shit is some old 1986 shit. That ain't what it is. And that's just real. So the streets are being prostituted by the dollar. There's no code. There's no none of that no more.
Did that man just say that? That man just spoke on that, Wack. He said that that's what you trying to do. You trying to prostitute that game. That's what somebody said, bro. That's what they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there. 6ix9ine proved that.
Mm-hmm.
6ix9ine from a neighborhood that you ain't going to college. You ain't going to this, that, being from over there. Nigga, you going to jail somewhere in your life. He got a badge. Mob James speaks on it all the time. Right? He got a badge, and because of the money, they moved how he told them to move. Not because of who he was, and he's an authority figure, and his history and his rank, and he didn't put in no work. Man, this shit been watered down. You know, at the end of the day, I sat down with the kid because I see him as a kid. I ain't never looked at that man as no blood. When he was running around here, blood and whatever he was doing, they told me to come talk to him. You never seen Wack sit down. I would have never sat down with him as no blood. It's not going to happen. But I sit down with little Danny because I told him he was confused because he wants to be looked at as a gangster. And my whole disposition was, it's in life.
Bro, that ain't what we saw on this footage, Wack.
Things out to where you need to understand, Danny, you are not a gangster. It's not what you are.
After doing the interview, did your perception change about him?
No, I think his perception of him changed about him.
Okay.
You got to remember, he's used to getting people in there and he get them into a screaming match. It's a 3-hour interview, bro. It's some shit went on. It's some people that been mentioned. It's some shit that really got addressed.
Okay.
From mainstream artists, you know what I mean, that I had to defend because I felt they wasn't there to defend themselves and I understand them, right? So at the end of it, Danny jumped up 2-3 times, a little frustrated, you know what I mean? But it was a conversation. See, when people like Meek Mills go wrong, they say, you this, you this, you this, you that. You popping like when you see him is on. And that's cool. Just when you see him, let it be on. I never wanted to do nothing to the kid because I really don't blame the kid. I blame the block. If the block don't allow him to come in there and do that, if the block don't tell him about history that happened before him, he never has any ammunition to go in and say anything anyway. So who's their fault?
You already said that. You already said that, man. You already said that, Wack. You already said that.
Well, that's why I said that maybe this is a lesson to, I guess, the block instead of me saying the street. This is a lesson to people that's on the block. Like, you know, watch who you let in your circle.
Hey, bro, it ain't letting in. It's like certain things is earned. I got some people like my brother Stack Quo. That's my brother. Love him to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I deal with Stat Quo, it's a peaceful, humble environment. You understand what I'm saying? I don't deal with Stat Quo where some tension or it might be a fight or some shootings or a fucking ride or anything like that. Because Stat Quo is a civilian. And if I put him in a situation or a position where something happens and they just so happen to get his license plate and go to his house and knock on the door and say this, Stat Quo is going to respond to that in the way that he should with the mind frame of a civilian. So as a friend, right, I'm going to keep him out of those situations, right? Mm-hmm. You got to know what's around you, who you taking where, and what you doing. They let this kid tell them, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. What did this kid earn? What did he go through? How did he get that type of say-so and control? The bag is shallow. Mm-hmm. It's shallow, and that's just what it is. Nobody wants to admit, because a lot of people use on street as they leverage to get in or have an identity, right? I haven't been a gangbanger in 25 years, bro. I haven't woke up hating the Crip or wanted to do something to somebody in blue for 25 years. I got Crip partners, Crip comrades. I don't even disrespect the C in conversations when I'm talking to people, because I know I may hang up the phone and my Crip partner may call me and I'm going to feel like I'm a buster for conducting myself like that. Mm-hmm. So I see life different. End of the day, those that are obligated and bound to this shit, then you're going to be held accountable for it. Wack can't tell. I can't cooperate with the police. I don't care if you did something to my daughter, my mama, the code I'll fall up under is I got to deal with it the way of the streets. But a civilian is never subject to those ways. Period.
Okay. You want to shout out somebody in New York? Because, you know, the whole New York City is listening right now.
Oh, yeah. I want to give the whole New York a shout out. My brother, Uncle Murder, K. Slay. You know what I mean?
And there you have it. There you have it, man. We weren't going to come in here alone. You know what I'm saying? This is the first starter, like the morning vibe is bringing that shit back. You feel me? So if y'all ain't in tune, get your reminders on. Start setting the reminders, resubscribing, hitting the notification bell, things of that nature, man. It's death for the Cloud Chaser TV, man. We back up in this thing again. Dig. If you still ain't subscribed, subscribe right now. Share this on Facebook and Twitter. Get them likes up, gang. We out.